Yo, what's going on, Senpai Squad? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're discussing Urashiki Otsutsuki, one of the biggest characters in the Boruto anime right now. In fact, Urashiki is still, to this day, one of, if not the most mysterious character in all of Boruto, and that's including Jigen and Kawaki. He's such an anomaly that it can't really be compared to any other series out there. There's nothing quite like him. He's not your typical anime only villain per se, because not only did he actually appear alongside the main antagonists of a canon arc, not just a canon arc, arguably the biggest arc in all of Boruto so far, but he also arguably played the largest role out of all three of those main villains, despite the majority of it being played behind the scenes. Not only did he survive that arc, unlike the other two main antagonists which he was with, but he also got his own end credit scene at the end of that arc, and not just that, but that exact end credit scene foreshadowed his eventual attack on Boruto, the main character. He also obviously sealed away Teneri on the moon, a character which most fans expected to play a pivotal role in the entirety of the Boruto storyline, helping him teach about the Jogan and all that type of stuff and learn about the Otsutsuki. Not just that, but he also stole some of the Sage Mode chakra from Mitsuki, which in turn gave him access to a power that no other Otsutsuki member ever in history has had, which opens up a ton of doors and possibilities for him to become unique to all of the other members. And then the final point, of course, is the fact that this guy has a 6 Tomoe Rinnegan in one of his eyes, and not just that, but he can turn his Byakugan into said 6 Tomoe Rinnegan, which is something which just shouldn't be possible from what we know in the lore of Naruto, and it's something that we've never ever seen before, if I'm not mistaken. Now, we know that Sasuke got his by getting a share of Hagoromo's chakra, but what about Urashiki? What makes Urashiki different to everyone else? Why can he specifically have a 6 Tomoe Rinnegan? And why can he change his Byakugan into said Rinnegan at will, when really they shouldn't have any direct correlation to each other at all, really? Now, despite all of these just completely unanswered questions, what do we actually know about Urashiki? Well, we know that Urashiki was ordered to go and explore and scout out the Earth for intel many years before the arrival of Momoshiki and Kinshiki. He has the ability to steal chakra and different attacks from other people and then use it back on them, quite a lot like we've seen throughout Boruto so far with Momoshiki's Rinnegan and then Delta's ability, Kawaki, Boruto. It's a very recurring theme, but it's something that he can do as well. But other than that, we're back to where we were a moment ago, not knowing anything about it. And that's why now, over the past year, Urashiki has constantly been one of, if not my favourite character in the entire series. And considering he's finally been mentioned in the anime, albeit very briefly, I think we're that one step closer to finally getting his arc, the major story arc involving him in the anime, where obviously that will come with some answers to our question, but inevitably it will also create even more questions about him. Now is when I should probably explain that this video was 100% inspired by Naruto Explained. Huge shout out to you, my friend, not like you need it from someone as small as me, but one of the hardest working guys on the platform. I'm sure you all know who he is already. I'm 100% ripping off your theory. I apologise, I just loved it that much that I really just wanted to knuckle down and make a video on it. So yeah, thanks for dropping that theory in my mentions on Twitter. Anyway, going back into the theory, so going off the latest chapter of Boruto, the Otsutsuki mural that we see, we get the idea that the Otsutsuki clan have a ranking system and they work in pairs. Obviously, we know that Momoshiki and Kinshiki made up a high rank pair, and presumably Jigen and Kaguya made up another. And then there's one other pair that we can't quite make out. Now, some people speculated that this other remaining pair may be Urashiki and Toneri. Personally, I completely disagree because I think Toneri is a branch member of the Otsutsuki clan. I imagine that would play some form of a role into it. I imagine all these pairs are just the main branch of Otsutsuki. And secondly, I just don't think that's the case. I think just people are putting 2 and 2 together. They're putting just the 2 remaining Otsutsuki members that we've got at the minute in the story and just going, boom, they're a pair. I actually don't think Urashiki is anybody on that mural because I don't think he's in a pair. He was tagged along with Momoshiki's pair to make up a trio, and in that case, if he was a member of a pair, why would they have just not sent Urashiki with his paired member? Why put him on side with 2 other pairs? Now, considering that Urashiki went down to Earth to investigate and gather intel ahead of the rest of them, and the fact that he prioritised sitting back and escaping to report back to the head of the clan as opposed to fighting like Momoshiki did, we can already see some of the difference in roles that each person played. We know that the Otsutsuki are just hungry for power. They're hungry beings in search for power. We know that they strive on taking that power from others and will go around conquering planets from all throughout the solar system in turn to get the best trees for them to harvest. They are elite beings essentially on top of the food chain, and they're not going to settle for just low quality goods. And that's why people like Urashiki are key for the Otsutsuki clan and their goals, because they go out like scouts to different planets, gather intel, report back to the head once a good planet and suitable candidate has been found, and that is then when the invasion takes place. Hence why he went to Earth. He knew so much about Earth, such as trees, Jinchuriki, the tailed beasts, went back. Momoshiki and Kinshiki then later came down for their invasion, and voila, Urashiki had completed his job, he got out of there and he reported back. Like I said, they are essentially a scout for the Otsutsuki clan who go out there looking for the best of the best. But I don't think Urashiki's story is quite so simple as that. In my opinion, I think his story is going to be revolving around him actually climbing through the ranks a bit more. Kind of like our shonen MC on the other side, as the bad guy's side. I think he's going to be getting hungrier and hungrier for more and more power as the story goes on, especially now that he's got this Sage Mode from Mitsuki, which is obviously going to give him an upper hand on anyone else in the clan because it's something no one else should have. So I want to ask you guys, what do you think of Urashiki right now? Now clearly he wasn't ranked as highly as the rest of them, but the fact he was given so much attention in this major arc, and the fact that he was clearly building himself up for a big return, makes me question what's in store for his future. Will he do a Sasuke for the Otsutsuki clan? Will he go rogue in search for more power? Or will he replace Momoshiki and become the head of a brand new pair? There's so many questions, and honestly, the more and more you think about it, you just keep getting more questions. But that's why I want you guys to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Like I said one last time, thank you Naruto Explained for this theory. It was absolutely fantastic. I genuinely think that this has a very heavy chance of being the case with Urashiki's character. Like I said, I can't wait till we finally get that arc. Fingers crossed that we get it in the fall/winter season of this year, because I need my Urashiki injections. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're not already to become a member of the Senpai Squad. And as always, I'll be seeing you guys in another video. But until then, peace.